Hi, I'm Steve, and in just over 3 weeks I'm going to be running the London Marathon, and I'm doing it in memory of my dad and raising money for Pancreatic Cancer Action, a small pancreatic cancer focused charity here in the UK. If you would like to sponsor me, there is a QR code on screen now, and there'll also be a link in the description. Any support would be massively appreciated. Typically, I make these videos at the end of each month of my training blocks. I'm a little bit late making this video. It is now the end of week 13, so this will be covering month 3 plus an extra week. Things got a little bit busy and I wasn't able to get out last week to record my recap video, so it's just a little bit late. So over the last 5 weeks, I've been to a lot of different places to run. Been to Leeds, been to the Wirral, been to Northamptonshire, been to Lincolnshire and Leicester. A lot of different places doing runs, which has made things quite varied, quite good. Sometimes on these marathon training blocks you get a little bit tired of running the same routes through the same places, so to get out to some new places during the last few weeks has been great, and it's given me a little bit of a bump in my training. Over the last 5 weeks I've ran 228 kilometers over 16 runs. Should have done 20 runs, so missed 4 over the last 5 weeks due to various reasons, which I will let you know. One of those runs that I missed was a long run. It was a 32k. Reasons why I missed that run were normally I like to enter events when I have long runs, because I find it really hard when the long runs get beyond half marathon distance. Typically find it really hard to get out and run those on my own. So typically I enter events, be them kind of half marathons or quite often looped events that some small running organisations put together. So I go up to Peterborough to do them typically, or places like Sherwood Forest. And I just really struggled in that week to find an event that would cater for me running 32k, and I just found it really difficult, truth be told, to get the motivation to actually get myself out the door and run under my own steam for 3 odd hours. So yeah, it's sometimes when you get into these training blocks you get fatigued, both physically but also mentally, and I think that was the main kind of reason why I just struggled to get out and do that run, as well as the other runs. Some of those I missed due to wanting to actually just build myself back up physically. I was just getting a little bit tired and the runs were coming thick and fast. In the 3rd month there aren't many runs that you do that are under 10k in distance. Quite often they're kind of like 13k minimum, and sometimes just that kind of compounding fatigue builds up and just makes you feel a little bit worn out. Yeah, a few of those runs during month 3 fell by the wayside a little bit, including one big one. I think the positives of the last month are that most of the runs I've done have actually felt really good. My pacing has been good. When I've had pace targets to hit, I've generally kind of matched or quite often exceeded the pace targets for my runs, such as the steady runs and the tempo runs, and even long runs with pace targets. So that has been good. And also during the last 5 weeks, I think the thing that is keeping me motivated, hopeful, feeling good about London is that I did my longest run of the whole training block, which was 35 kilometers, which was at the end of week 12. And I went up to Lincolnshire to do an event organised by Circuit Running, and that was just running 5k, not loops really, because they were just out and backs. It got a little bit repetitive. It wasn't the most inspiring in terms of the scenery and things like that, but all in all I managed to run well, and I think that is always the one run of the training block that you really hope does go well, and fortunately it did. I managed to just feel really good up to probably about 32k, and then the final 3k legs just felt a little bit tired, but still brought it home, as I say, with good pacing. So yeah, the longest run of the training block went really well. If you've been following along with these videos, you'll know that I often talk about a run of the month. Run of the month was actually the week prior to that, which was a 29k long run, and I went to Northampton to do that. It was another looped event. This time it was organised by Saturn Running. It's my first time running with them. Fortunately, the event was put on both the Saturday and Sunday. I had bought a ticket for the Saturday, thinking it was the Sunday. I got an email on the Saturday afternoon asking for my feedback, and I realised that I'd missed my day. Fortunately, the organisers at Saturn Running were very accommodating. They just said, fine, come tomorrow. So I did. That was really nice, that run. It was a looped event, so I did 4 laps. There were 7 and a bit K laps. It was on a mix of terrain, so there was a bit of road, there was a little bit of kind of gravelly paths, there was some grass, there was a little bit of trail, but also the run started off and it was just really foggy, and as the morning went on it cleared up and it turned out into a beautiful morning. It was a very nice place to run. Ran pretty strong, met some nice people, had some nice conversations, and yeah, so that was my run of the month. So the long runs that I have done have actually gone really well, so that's been a good confidence builder going into the final few weeks of the training block. In this video series to date, I've talked a bit about my shoe rotation. Out of the 220 kilometers I've run this month, 145 of those kilometers have been in the Asics Superblast 3 that I got last month, and I think that's why I'm feeling really good about my runs, because they've just been fantastic to run in. They've been a real confidence builder. They are leading the way now. It'll take something pretty strong to displace them as being my London Marathon day shoe. I think they've helped me stay on pace or ahead of pace in my runs. There is a review that I've done of those on the channel, so if you're interested in a bit of a deep dive in my thoughts of the Asics Superblast 3, you can check that out on the channel feed. I also got a pair of Chinese running shoes by a brand called Li-Ning. They are more famously known for their badminton kits, both rackets and shoes and things like that. But I got a pair of their running shoes called the Red Hare 9 Ultras. So I've put about 30 odd kilometers through those during this month so far. They've been a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing a bit more of a deep dive review on those once I've done a few more kilometers in them. Another shoe that I wore for the first time this month was a shoe that I had years ago when I used to do a lot of obstacle course racing. I got a pair of Salomon Speed Cross 5 Gore-Tex because one of the runs that I did, another looped event, this one was done by Rasselbach Running in a place called Roslyston. Yeah, needed pretty serious trail shoes because the course was very, very muddy in parts. So did some in that. So that was also pretty interesting. Another great run, one that I enjoyed a lot this month. But yeah, that's all in the space of 1 month. The Superblast 3 has now jumped to the top of the chart of my most run in shoe of this training block. So yeah, that probably tells you all you need to know about what I think about those. So that's it. We've got 3 weeks left as of today. I'm recording this on Monday of week 14. So we've got 3 weeks of runs, including the final run, the London Marathon, on the 26th of April. So I'll be doing another video once kind of all the runs are done, pre-London, all being well, just to let you know how I'm feeling, what I'm hoping for. So yeah, if you'd like to sponsor me, once again, I'll bring a QR code up and there'll be a link in the description. If you want to help the channel in any way, there is also a link if you are shopping on Amazon. It doesn't have to be sports related. If you just click on my link in the description, that also helps the channel out if you are buying anything off there. I think that's it. So give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. See ya.